In RightFax, you can create users to send and receive faxes in your environment. And to do so, all you have to do is go to the users tab and hit new. And then you're going to need two things to create a user, which is the user ID and the username. Every other configuration is whatever you prefer, but the user ID and the username are default that you need to have set. So for example, I'll set this user, I'll name it user1, and I'm going to set the username to user1 account. So user ID is the main one that the users will log into, and the username is just a name that you can use to identify the user within FaxUtil. So you can add anything under the email address. So say user1@gmail.com. If you have that, and if they have a mobile address or an SMS, you can put that too. So you can put 536-111-2222. That's just information about their account to have. There's authentication types. So one is RightFax, so this would be just a built-in user. And then two, you have Windows, which is if there's a domain account, then you can use the Windows to do so. So in that case, you would select Windows, and then you choose the domain that they're part of. So my domain, and then the account name. But in this case, I don't have any domain, so I'm just going to use RightFax built-in user for this case. And if there's a group that you have in your environment, so say you created another group, call it HR, for example, you can put that member inside the HR group. So you can select that here, and you can find that user and all the users in the groups through the list where it says group. Under permissions, there's lots of different permissions that you can set. Usually these ones are a default. And for older versions like 24.4 and 25.4, you need a password by default for these users. But in 23.4, you can opt to have the user with no password. So in this case, must have password. If you want the user to have a password, you need to set this on their account. You can also give them administrative access so that you can have them access Enterprise Fax Manager. You can have them look at all the faxes in FaxUtil. That one you can select the permissions here. So in this case, full admin can use Enterprise Fax Manager and configure the server. Read-only administrator, they can see the configurations, but they can't modify it. And then user management administration, they have access to Enterprise Fax Manager such that they can configure users, they can modify them, and they could do lots of stuff within that users tab. So in this case, let's give my account user administrator access. And under the routing tab here, you can set if this user is an inbound account or just for strictly outbound. So every RightFax user, you can set them up for outbound faxing. It's already default for outbound faxing, but there's an optional way to receive faxes. So say if you have a session border controller and these users and you have fax numbers on your account, you can give that DID to those users. So you can go 419-111-2222, and these numbers are given to you by your telco, or they're given to you by your carrier. So you can set it up for this user. So whenever there's a fax that comes in with this specific number, then you can set it to route that fax somewhere. So say fax mailbox, this just means that it's going to land into RightFax FaxUtil, and you can access it there. Or if you have network directory, you can define a network path. So you can use this sort of format to route it somewhere. You can also set the file type, which is by default is usually TIFF or PDF. And you can also set it to land in email. So SMTP, just as long as you set up the email account in the client connections, I believe it is, or external connections. You'd set it up in external connection, set up the email module so that you can have RightFax send out that email. And that email will contain the file of the fax. Moving forward, so we have default outbound settings. It doesn't really let you configure it because the since it's SMTP, I'll put it back to Fax Gateway. So default outbound settings. So you can set your account, this specific account, to have default outbound settings. So whenever they're sending out a fax, you can set a default priority, which means you can set it to low, you can set it to high. High priority meaning that if there is an available channel, it's going to use this, it's going to send this fax out with high priority and send it out first. And that's really helpful for any like financial accounts or anything like that where you need to have the faxes sent out, because usually with RightFax it's a first in first out type of sending. So if you have 100 users, 100 channels, and all 100 of them are being used, at least this user will have their faxes sent out first. The cover sheet settings. So if you have multiple cover sheets, you can have them use by default specific cover sheet. So whenever they're sending a fax through Fax Util, it automatically sends using that cover sheet. And then moving forward, if you want to add like a cover sheet information for the user, so say this is their mobile address, you can have that. You can say from user one's company name, and then this will all of this information will automatically populate into the cover sheet that is selected. So now we'll move forward to messaging, and say if you have like some sort of SMS enabled on your environment, you can have the fax sent to your or even just like a fax notification sent to your phone. So that's something pretty cool to have. Under administrative alerts, you can also set up that same thing. So you can have this user receive alerts about your RightFax server. So say if there's low disk space, it's going to send a text to them. And if there's all doc transports are down, it'll also do the same thing. The post-fax processing is really helpful for users because you can define if the XML generator is going to be working, or if the RightFax vault is going to be creating some special files. So say if you want RightFax to create, so the XML generator, it basically creates a specific files and drops the files into a network path where you can have like external workflows process them. So say if you want to have received faxes, a copy of those received faxes and the metadata as well, then you can enable it. You can set where that repository path will land into. So you can set it as a network path, you can set it as a local path, and then also set a default XML template, which it will use 100%. And then finally, once we go to the automatic printing, okay, let's disable this. Let's go to automatic printing. So this would mean that if you have a printer set up, you can set it to print outbound faxes or to print inbound faxes. So you'd select a printer, you'd enable it, and then whenever the fax is successfully sent, it will print it automatically to that printer for an inbound or outbound fax, depending on what you need, depending on what your business requirement is. Now, default inbound settings is pretty cool because you can set up inbound faxes to forward a fax, which is creating a copy of a fax. So in this case, you can have it forward to a fax machine. So you'd give it a fax number, and it will resend out that fax that you received to another device. This is good if you want to send it to an automatic or automatically send it to an external environment. You can also send it to a RightFax user where you define a specific user. So for example, I could put administrator, and whenever my account receives a fax, it will also go to the administrator mailbox too. And then finally, you can choose a group ID to send it to as well. Finally, notifications is pretty cool too because this is specifically for inbound faxes. So if you have a fax that comes in and you want to have a notification telling you that you have a fax that was received, you go to you can give an email into the, where is it, the default no, it's not here, under the notification tab. So you can set it to SMTP, and then it's going to send you an email whenever a fax is successfully sent, a fax is held for a preview, and whenever there is a fax that's going to be abandoned. But you can also you can also enable these two, and then it will send it out to you can choose if it's going to send a notification during transmission or during periodically. So say if you're sending a 100-page fax, it's going to send it periodically until the fax is complete. Or you can send it once only. Usually the default is on never, because that means that it's going to send you a notification only when the fax is submitted and sent out. And you can also set it to give you a text. You can use group-wise mail if you have that type of integration, and it's really up to you. You have lots of different things to play around with. Gmail.com. So don't forget, you can hit the test button, and it's going to send a test message to you, so you can validate if you receive fax notifications without actually sending out the fax. So that's a pretty cool feature that they just added. And finally, on the other tab, so this is just a default billing code. So say if you have many users and you need to set an account number so that you can do some billing, you can charge your users based off how many faxes they do, then you can have a default billing code for them. You can set a default printer for them. You can also set a description for this user, just based off what is your business requirement. And that's really it. That's there's a lot of different small configurations you can set for these users, but each of them are very powerful, and they can do so much based off your business requirements. And yeah, so as I said before, if you want to set up a user, you could just set it up with a user ID and a username, user2 account, and then once you hit OK, the user will be added here. And when you open a fax util, you can see that user2 in your account. So password, go to other users, the everyone group, and then you'll have that user group account right here where you can see the mailbox. And then you can send a fax to that too. So send out a fax, and then it's going to be sent out through that user2 account. And it's just that easy. It's very simple to set up a user account and to configure them based off your requirements. One thing here is that if you want to search up a specific user, you can just type in their user ID, and then it's going to filter out either from the ID or the name. You can even search up the routing code. So say if you give the user a routing code of 554444, you can just search that up, 4444 in this top button, and it's going to filter for all those, for any users IDs, any names, or any route codes that have 4444. And that's go. There you go. You'll be able to create users. You can modify them, and so on and so forth.